Picture this. Your family arguing about money. Dad wants new truck. Mom wants your college tuition. Fighting gets so bad, bank freezes credit cards. Electricity cut off. Netflix stops working. Fridge sits empty. Family level, extremely uncomfortable. Everyone furious. Now scale that up. House is America. Parents are Democrats and Republicans. Frozen credit card is national budget. That's government shutdown. Periodic power failure of US government. Today, we're breaking down what happened October 1st, 2025. Now let's get into it. US government shutdown. Quick note. This info comes from multiple sources. If something's wrong, drop a comment. We make economics so simple that anyone with zero knowledge can understand. First, we need basics. Why does US government shut down at all? Shutdown happens when Congress fails to pass budget or fails to pass temporary spending measure. US fiscal year starts October 1st, ends September 30th next year. Deadline arrives without new budget? Non-essential federal agencies stop operating. Federal employees get furloughed without pay or work without immediate payment. Essential services still run. National security, defense, air traffic control. This year's specific cause? Congress couldn't reach a spending agreement. Democrats wanted healthcare subsidies expansion tied to budget. Republicans opposed. Said healthcare provisions don't belong in spending bill. Both sides fought about total spending amount. How much money abroad? How much domestically? Current political polarization made agreement impossible. Old budget expired September 30th. Government started shutting down 12:01 a.m. October 1st, 2025. About 800,000 federal employees furloughed temporarily, 700,000 others forced to work without immediate pay. Consequence of prolonged political deadlock, deep polarization, not just between parties. Throughout American society, when government shuts down, tier system activates immediately. Two groups. Group 1, essential workers, jobs critical to protecting life and property, air traffic controllers, FBI agents, military personnel, border security agents, prison guards. The unfair part? They're required to keep working, but don't get paid until shutdown ends. Like being superhero saving world, but landlords still knocking for rent. Group 2, non-essential workers. Sounds harsh, but non-essential only means work doesn't immediately affect life safety. These workers get furloughed. Fancy word for unpaid leave. Banned from working, can't even check company email. 2025 shutdown, estimated 750,000 to 850,000 people suddenly in this situation. Healthy 1 second, suddenly jobless next, no idea when you can work again. This division reveals core paradox. Government legally must perform society's most important tasks, yet fails at most basic duty. Paying own employees, unspoken message clear. Your job's so important and society can't miss one day. But our political squabbling more important than that. October 1st, 2025, US government officially shut down. Understanding causes requires looking at political chessboard. Donald Trump as president, Republicans controlled House and Senate. Theory says enough power to pass bills, reality different. Senate still needed Democratic votes to overcome filibuster. Filibuster means Senate minority can block votes by talking endlessly. Requires 60 votes to overcome. Republicans had 54. Needed Democratic help. This gave Democrats leverage. So what was this spending bill Democrats wouldn't pass? Massive tax and spending package. Republicans called it one big beautiful bill. Trump's trademark branding. Beautiful provisions included major tax cuts, tips, overtime pay, car loan interest. To fund these cuts, bill took money from Medicaid, healthcare program for low-income people, taking healthcare money to reduce other taxes, specifically 12% cut to Medicaid. Third provision, tightened work requirements for food stamps. Poor people now harder to get food. These provisions were foundation of Democratic disagreement. They didn't want poor people losing basic healthcare. Not even talking good quality, just basic. Republicans disagreed with that. Both sides behaved maturely, sat down to negotiate, found compromise? No. We got full-blown blame war instead. Trump's Republican team said Democrats deliberately sabotaging, threatening government with cowardly trick, called Democratic demands crazy, called their bill clean extension, said Democrats want American money treating illegal immigrants. Democrats fought back, said Republicans only want taking from poor, giving to rich, cut taxes for wealthy, poor people can't afford medicine. Democrats positioned themselves as saviors, protecting people from greedy rich. Government websites updated with wording blaming extreme left-wing. Democratic senators, even automated email replies became political weapons. Trump escalated further, posted AI-generated deep fake video mocking Democratic leaders, propaganda everywhere, civility nowhere. Welcome to American politics. But we also see strategy in this shutdown. Trump turned failed negotiation into political weapon. Previous shutdowns, main goal was using leverage to force opponent funding something. Example, border wall, 2018, 2019. This time, Trump said straight up, while governments shut down, let's fire people not on our side. He looked around. Oh, there are Democratic projects, infrastructure, green energy, have few $1 billion funding. We'll cut it all. See if you can still breathe. Shutdown, no longer consequence of budget deadlock, became mechanism for political purge. Big shots fight each other, haven't seen them scratched. Regular people get battered. First, hundreds of thousands government workers thrown into instability, furloughed temporarily, bills, debts, kids' tuition, don't know how to pay. Not even sure it's temporary, could be permanent. Unlike previous shutdowns when workers knew they'd return, many people now face real job loss possibility, completely changed psychology and financial risk. Tourism industry hit hard. Want to visit Grand Canyon, museums? Sorry, closed or no staff. Government shutdown means no staff cleaning trash. Stench and filth real. $1 billion damage every week to tourism, aviation, public health, food supply, social services, justice, immigration, all face problems. However, immigration enforcement and deportation continued. Considered essential. Active military, including abroad, continued serving, but pay delayed. Enormous financial burden on military families. Federal forces like FBI and border agents remained on front lines. Worked without immediate pay. Rich guys playing political games on blood of own citizens. Not just regular people's blood. Playing on blood of those protecting national security too. Macro level, analysts estimated $7 billion to $15 billion damage to U.S. economy every week. Stalled economic activity. Congressional Budget Office, CBO, calculated 0.1 to 0.2 percentage points quarterly GDP reduction. Each week it lasted. Comparison, 2018 shutdown caused permanent $3 billion loss. Most spectacular part, U.S. law requires government officials still get paid during furlough. Americans still paying civil servants, even though servants sitting idle, not allowed to work. CBO estimated $400 million daily for furloughed employee salaries. Government shut down, people suffering, U.S. stocks flying high. Who benefits? Rich people again. SP 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, all set records during shutdown. Sounds illogical, but markets used to this show. Shutdown usually just political theater, not real economic crisis. Government spending delayed, but money eventually flows back. Investors don't worry, even have buying opportunity. Shutdown slows economic reports, employment numbers. No bad news means market flies easier. Fed might cut interest rates due to instability, further stimulates stock buying. Result? Poor people suffer, workers suffer, rich people throw parties, and crypto got more excited than stocks. Shutdown shook confidence in government. Investors poured into Bitcoin that government can fail. Bitcoin won't. Bitcoin surged to nearly $124,000. Altcoins like ETH and Solana rallied strongly, except some meme coins. Shutdown made SEC and regulators operate slowly, delayed crypto regulatory framework. Short term, chaos in Washington was good news for digital markets. US government shutdown doesn't stay domestic. Spreads globally. European GDP could lose 4 billion euros if shutdown lasted 2 weeks. International tourism to US heavily affected. U.S. credibility in world leadership shaken. How can you lead world when own house doesn't have money to run? Credit rating agencies warned. Moody's already downgraded U.S. May 2025. Political division. This shutdown, just symptom of poor governance disease. Message clear? America losing points on governing capability. U.S. government shutting down isn't new. Just latest episode in long-running series. Year 2018 had border wall battle. 35 days, longest in history. Trump demanded $5.7 billion for Mexico border wall. Democrats said no. 800,000 employees furloughed or working without pay. Airports chaotic. TSA workers called sick en masse. National parks overflowing trash. Economy lost $11 billion. $3 billion permanently gone. Trump compromised. Signed temporary bill. $0 for wall. Year 2013 had Obamacare battle 16 days. Republicans saw Obamacare as evil to destroy. 850,000 furloughed. National parks closed. Medical trials stopped. Business loans delayed. Finally, Congress forced to negotiate. Government reopened. Years 1995. 96 had Clinton versus Gingrich. Classic boxing match. Democratic president facing Republican Congress. Disputes around Medicare, education, environment. Shutdown happened twice. 5 days, November 95. 21 days, December 95 to January 96. Public blame Republicans. Pressure forced compromise. Clinton won. Contributed to re-election 96. Repeating script every time. One side takes budget hostage. Other holds ground. Consequences chaos. Economic damage. Finally must compromise under public pressure. Bottom line. Every few years, American political system performs this ritual. Two parties use budget as weapon, hold entire country hostage, essential workers forced to work without pay. Non-essential workers can't work at all. Economy bleeds billions weekly. Tourism collapses. International credibility damaged. Stock market paradoxically rises. Crypto explodes. Rich get richer. Poor get poorer. After weeks or months suffering, politicians eventually sign deal. Everything returns normal. Until next time, cycle repeats because system incentivizes brinkmanship over compromise. Media attention rewards confrontation over cooperation. Political bases demand purity over pragmatism. Until Americans demand different behavior from elected officials, government shutdowns remain recurring feature, not bug in system, but feature. Here's my question for you. If you were in Congress during shutdown, would you vote to reopen government immediately, even if it meant losing on your key issue? Or would you hold out for your position, no matter how long it takes? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos.